Hi, I'm Miley Kozinski, and I live 1.6 miles downstream from the metadata center in Beaver Dam. I'm a lifelong Wisconsin resident. I live on a horse farm, and I am an educator. For almost 50 years, a natural creek has flowed through my property. It's 20 feet wide, up to 4 feet deep. It has persisted through drought, flood, seasonal change. It's part of a connected system, groundwater, tributaries, watersheds, aquifers, ultimately flowing into Beaver Dam Lake. Until construction began upstream on the data center, its behavior was stable and predictable. After construction started, all of that changed here in Beaver Dam. The creek began to stop flowing entirely. Without rainfall, it would abruptly return, often cloudy and opaque like milk, with enough force to cause drastic erosion and damage. This pattern repeated itself dozens of times over a single construction season, to the point that it is dry half of the time. Dust from the construction covers my yard. My grass is white, and I'm 1.6 miles away. So I did what residents are told to do. I called up the Department of Natural Resources. I spoke with dedicated staff, but the system is fragmented. My reports are passed between departments, reports are lost, and at one point I was told the agency didn't even know if they had clear authority over what was going on. What I learned in this process is there is no single entity responsible for what happens downstream when large-scale construction disrupts a water system. Different permits govern different activities, locally, county level, state level, some even federal. No one is tasked at looking at the whole picture or what happens beyond the project boundary. This is not a failure of individual agency staff, it's a policy failure. The law is on the side of the businesses and not on the residents. In my case, the creek's flow now appears correlated with industrial activity upstream and the times when that construction took place, including daily blasting with dynamite. When that discharge stops, my creek stops. When it resumes, water returns suddenly. Water testing on my property shows elevated strontium, a very dangerous metal, and other indicators consistent with deep groundwater influence, a change that coincides with large-scale excavation, blasting upstream, and warrants independent investigation. Filters on my water system to stop this elevated metal persistence in my water is going to be over $1,000. When construction is complete, nearly 1,000 acres of my backyard will be converted from living permeable land into a paved industrial space, land that once actively recharged groundwater, aquifers, and watersheds. That change reshapes an entire community. Farmers and local families cannot compete with billion-dollar corporations to pay for that land. And over time, the places that defined Wisconsin, rural communities, working landscapes, they're being replaced. And then the next project arrives to fill in that spot because nobody is building a home next to a data center. People are leaving. Now there's another open spot, like a second data center now being proposed in Beaver Dam. The city annexed this land from my township. Once it got annexed by the city, it goes to the county for rezoning. That is a rubber stamp in the process. There is nothing we can legally do to stop it at that point because you have to prove it is damaging to people's health, and we cannot legally prove damage before it's built. So it goes through. So you have to stop it at the city level if you want to speak up. By the time we knew it was a data center, it was too late to do anything. I wanted to be here forever. I can't even leave. I am trapped here because nobody wants to buy my land. They don't want to be near a data center. I am concerned at the idea that there does not seem to be a working system in place to make sure that permits are being followed. We can issue them left and right. There's not enough staff. Please, metaphorically, we are launching planes that are still being built, and we are forced to pilot them.
Thank you for being here. Questions from committee members?
Please ask me a question, please.
All right. Hearing none. Thank you.